The style of breathing that we use in Pilates is diaphragmatic breathing. It's great because it improves circulation and your respiratory capacity and can be used as a tool to regulate your nervous system. But it's also the best way to take deep breaths while still learning how to engage your abs to support your low back. So for today's body awareness exercise, you're gonna need a length of fitness band, a belt, a yoga strap, or like if you have a length of rope laying around, that would work too. So in diaphragmatic breathing, we're trying to encourage the breath to come into the lower lobes of the lungs so that the rib cage can expand three-dimensionally. Now I want you to think of your rib cage like a cylinder. When you breathe in, that cylinder expands. So my fingers will spread like my ribs open and the whole thing gets wider. Then when you exhale, that cylinder contracts. So you can imagine your ribs engaging, squeezing back in to press the air out of your lungs. Okay, and so that's kind of the pump motion. When the ribs separate, there's kind of like bucket handles lifting and out to the side like that and coming back in. Now, while that's going on, it allows for free motion from our primary breathing muscle, the diaphragm. The diaphragm runs horizontally in your body. And when I breathe in, to make more room in the chest cavity for the lungs to expand, my diaphragm descends down towards my abdominal cavity. When I exhale, it lifts back up, pressing into my chest cavity to help expel the air. And you can imagine that working kind of like the parachute in elementary school gym classes where all the kids kind of bellow it up and down. So inhale, exhale, like that. Now that creates a pressure change between your chest cavity and your abdominal cavity, but we're gonna talk about that another day. Right now, I want you to just focus on how you can practice this style of breathing to get better movement through your ribs. So it's important that you sit in a position that you can attain good posture, or you could even do this standing. I'm sitting on the floor because that's where the camera was, but you can totally do this in the chair. I think that's easiest to sit up tall. Now you're gonna take your tool and you're gonna wrap it around the back of your rib cage, covering up like the lowest 2 or 3 ribs. And then you're gonna crisscross it in front of you. Now I want you to make it taut against your body, just so you have tactile feedback all the way around your rib cage. And I'm just holding it in with my arms. Now we're gonna go into an even rhythm breathing pattern where you're inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. As you breathe in through your nose, I want you to feel your ribs expanding out into the sides into the rubber band. And then when you exhale, blow the air out through your mouth, and I want you to feel your ribs hugging back in towards your midline like they're running away from the rubber band, and you might have to like make it tauter, especially if it's not elastic. As you breathe in, you're gonna feel the expansion of your ribs in every direction. And then as you exhale, try to maintain your good posture as you squeeze the ribs back in. Now visualize that as you breathe in, that expansion is allowing the diaphragm to drop. And then as you exhale, the activation of the deep muscles, the abs and the diaphragm, help pull those ribs in to push the air back out. 2 more times. Now as you're breathing, I want you to try to keep your shoulders relaxed. And if you're able to lift your gaze and look up at me at the camera, when I'm doing a diaphragmatic breath, because I'm sending it deeper into my rib cage, my shoulders don't have to move a lot. You'll see just at the end range of my inhale, there's a little lift of the shoulders. I mean, I don't need the band here, just. So in this style of breathing, you should feel like the breath fills you from low to high, so that elevation I'm describing up here really doesn't happen to the end. So I'm filling up like you'd fill water into a container. If I breathe really shallow into my chest, I'm not gonna get much activation of my diaphragm, and instead like up to 80% of the work is gonna sit up here and all the accessory muscles, the secondary muscles that can help a breath pattern. So let me try a breath like that. Big bad wolf breath. So you'll see right away, I get a rise in my chest, the thing I wanted to see at the end of the breath. And that big dramatic lift, because I'm kind of pulling the air in fast, also creates a lift of my shoulders, almost like I was trying to take that container and pick it up off my rib cage. So if you notice that that's how you breathe, this is a great exercise to bring your attention lower. It might actually calm you down because a slower, smoother breathing rhythm is useful to regulate your nervous system. All right, work on that today. I'll be back tomorrow with more stuff.